Hello. In this video I'd like to explain a little bit about how we can put together the best possible bio page and what information you need to apply. So this is our home page, and of course, and then once we get to our speakers, this is something what your page will eventually look like. And what I'd like to do now is just flick over to see how we actually can put this together and what we require from you. So what we need here first, if you look on the left, the image that we require is a portrait style. In other words, a vertical 6 by 8 or 6 by 9 dimensions. It has to be a minimum quality photo of at least 300 dpi, or the size of the file between, say, 500 kilobytes and 2 megabytes. Once you provide us that image, then we can put that on as both a thumbnail and as the top of your bio page. Then next is, of course, your name and a description of what your specialty is in your presentations. So it could be ancient Roman history or oceanography specialists, or whatever biologist, whatever type of researcher you are. Now, moving on to your biography, again, we want it to be very clear, concise, and compelling, and only 80 to 120 words. And the reason for that is when we present this to the cruise lines, they literally only have about 10 or 12 seconds to review your file. So this is what we want them to see in that very, very short overview. Next, if you've cruised, then we'll put it in as recent cruises, and you can put those down. If you haven't cruised recently or you have something else, we can change this title, and it might be your recent presentations or anything of real significance that makes you presentable on board. Finally, and this is a very important part of the first phase, is your presentations. We need at least 4 and preferably 6 to 8 presentations. We need, of course, the presentation title, the subtitle if applicable, and then a brief description. And that description has to be only about 20 to 30 words. Again, if you want to look on how to build headlines online, it'll tell you some good ideas, or you can just review some of the different examples that we have on our site. If we move over to the right, which is just a continuation of this very first page, I'll just actually drag this to the center. And what you can see here is that if you have a spare one, then you can actually mention that. And then you may have a final point here about some sort of impact about what you can provide. There's also a spot where you might have external links. So for example, if you have your own personal web page, we can add that. Presentation media is also useful, and you can give us between 1 and 4 images. We need them in the landscape format, in other words 9 by 6. So in other words, if you can rescale them to that size of a letter size, where it is 9 units wide for every 6 unit tall, that will help us to make it nice and trim, and it saves us a lot of work in terms of trimming that. So if you can provide that to us, we appreciate it. It has to be relatively high resolution, again no less than 150 kilobytes and maybe almost up to 1 megabyte, but 900 is fine. And then finally, the most important thing that the cruise lines always ask for is a sample video of you presenting. And that has to be embedded into a YouTube or Vimeo or some other type of common format. And you can go online if you have a recording of yourself that you haven't put on YouTube yet. It's really simple to do. Just look at the instructions online, Google how to upload your video onto YouTube, and they'll give you a full description. And if you don't want to make it public, that's terrific. You can actually get ready to publish it, and you can have it as private or as individual. And once you do that, there'll be a link that you can provide us, and then we can actually put that on board here. And we'll take up to a maximum of 2 videos at the bottom. Anything else, we'll have to add links to people to come and see your spot. And that's the perfect bio template that we require from you. So a quick review: we do require that image of yourself, a very short bio of 80 to 120 words, some representation of where you've cruised as a speaker and or arts and crafts person, and then a list of your presentations, again with a very short 20 to 30 word description. And that makes it very handy for the cruise lines to assess, and also for you as well. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to putting your information on the website soon. Thank you.